soon, but I'm still very curious about the way that RDU and Habu Gabu are going to play this out, because if I know RDU, I think he wants to go out on a bang here and he wants to win as many possible lobbies as he can. Like, you said you like playing safe. You said that you don't think they're going to go for it. But would there be any value to you? Like, say you were in the winning position in this tournament. Would there be no part of you that like wanted to really put your stamp on it and just end on a win and just show complete dominance at the end?
I probably would. I probably would try to just get another win and just be like, yeah, I'm the best, you know. But it's more being being a performance that showcasing the best possible play than, oh, this is for the prize pool, this is what I can do to get the highest chance of success. So it's just that you're seeing a lot of streamers here, a lot of people that really want to showcase how good they are and get a lot of congratulations after the tournament. So you can see them trying their best every single game.
And RDU now, final lobby of the day, final lobby of the tournament, hits another high-tier hero with the Nozdormu, a hero that I know personally he is just a pretty big fan of, and why wouldn't you be? Just that free gold every single turn, allowing you that security in the tier 2 shop, which is my favorite thing about Nozdormu in particular, just being able to re-roll away one of those garbage shops and actually get yourself off to a pretty good start. So RDU, I think, finding himself in good position again.
Yeah, it looks like Bootylicious was the one that hit the Janus this game. Maybe they can utilize that to have a massive lead. You've seen a lot of players utilize the Janus really well, and he gets a token start. So really good start for this Janus player here. We'll see what he can make of it.
Yeah, token start plus a 2-4 in the shop, right? Which is the dream scenario, because you can actually now hero power and actually get that 2-4 for free, just like that. Giant board state already now on turn 1 without having to pay the health for the minion.
Yeah, really good start for this Janus player. It looking like everyone else is going to be a little bit scared of this. We do see a Sindragosa in the shop and the Curator, some of the little, weaker tier heroes in my opinion. So we're kind of wanting to see how they play out. It looks like Silvername has been the unluckiest player in terms of hero selections over all the tournaments. Every time I look at his name, he's having a hero and I'm like, it's not that good. So we'll see what he can do today.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think we've seen, 2 Tokis, now a Curator coming out from Silvername. Like, in a world of Nozdormus and Janduses and Maevs and Omus, yeah, those heroes are going to be struggling for sure.
Yeah. So we're still following the Janus. Has a really good setup here. Just has to buy the token and hero power next turn. He can get the triple fairly quickly, even next turn if he wants to. I do think he wants to find a way to get either a 4 or a 5, probably a 5 if this was RDU, but we'll see. He can maybe find a way to get multiple triples on the board.
Yeah, wow, that was potentially huge for the Lich King, but the ordering switch was very clutch there for Bootylicious to not be giving the pair over to Habu Gabu on Refarm and instead just feeding him that garbage token Murloc instead.
Yeah, so it looks like for Silvername, he froze the token trying to get a pair. He might go for the Murloc here just because it's so clean. Probably has to sell the 1/1 pair. Maybe even the Curator, but probably not. I hope he doesn't sell that.
Again, it's just a pretty garbage shot to be facing down on Tavern 2 there. This does give him the option to sell both tokens and pick up a vastly superior minion, right? Which I think is fairly reasonable. Yeah,
so goes for selling the tokens just so that... Oh, is he trying to give the amalgam to Habu Gabu? That seems like an interesting strategy. We'll see how it pans out.
Yo, feeds it. Okay, fair enough. Habu Gabu not Silvername's partner, so Silvername clearly felt like that was the weakest potential minion to give to the opponent there. Interesting choice.
I do think that it might be true that is the weakest minion. You are giving just a 1/1. It doesn't have any scaling on it. The other alternative is giving him the token, the money. That could be really painful. Or giving him the bomb, which is a really powerful early game minion. So it does kind of make sense that even though normally, maybe in other patches, you'd be like, I'm not going to give him my scaling Amalgadon for free. But here it actually kind of makes sense as the early game is pretty impactful.
Yeah, I think anyone who played right from the start, played in the first meta, and I include myself in that, tends to overvalue the 1-1 Amalgam just a little bit, because we remember original Nightmare Amalgam, right? And how key that was in that meta game. So I think just, mentally, I do attribute a little bit too much value to the 1-1 Amalgam.
Yeah, I actually like it. The longer I look at this board and comparing the other options, right, giving him the token, giving him the bomb, it actually does make a lot of sense to just give him the Amalgam here.
Oh, that is a vicious 2-1 Divine Shield from the Maiev there.
Yeah, it's going to
clean
destroy
up
him.
So much of the board. Oh my goodness. Best Divine Shield world.
Yeah, just a disgusting buff for the Divine Shield to really punish this Rafam here. The Rafam's also going to get the 1-1, just like not a powerful minion either. So he's really not getting everything he needs for the Rafam this game.
And we dip over to XQN's perspective now on that Maiev and see that he actually has a triple saved up already on that Righteous Protector. And he's going to be lining that up very, very nicely. Next turn, he's going to get the triple for free and have that ability that we've seen so many times from Maiev. Hit the button, level up, Tavern 5 minion off the Discover, pick up that Genie, win the game. Easy as that.
Yeah, so he's in a really good spot. The next turn really does determine a lot of what goes on for him, right? If he does get the Genie, he kind of knows what to do. If he does get a Brand or a Light Fang, right, things get a little bit more complicated where how's he going to go from there, right? If he does see a Brand, he does have a Murloc in the shop, probably will lean instead for a Murloc composition. But yeah, the next turn for this Maiev is really going to matter in how everything plays out.
Depending on how much weight these Divine Shields can carry, they could get the buffs here from the Micro Mummies, which would be huge. Because otherwise, I think you'll probably take a pretty clean loss here to a buffed up Yogg on this turn of the game. Yeah, you see how much larger the minions are on the other side, but those Divine Shields can still put in some work.
Yeah, Yogg really spikes during these turns, and it can even spike in a safe way where he can just level up in hero power all the way up to 5 and just go for the elemental compositions organically that way. But he looks fairly strong, fairly safe, probably won't be worried too much about leveling if he wants to do that.
I think, though, without having access to the stats, that was probably quite close to max damage on that turn for the Maiev could have taken with the way those trades went down. Both of the captains living, only the Scallywag dying at the end, which of course replaces itself with a token that deals just as much damage. So we'll see if the wait was worth it for XQN, whether he can hit that game-winning 5-drop. I don't think any of those quite fit the bill.
Yeah, you can look at his face. You can see him blinking in disbelief. This is what I have to work with. There's a lot of pain. You can see the pain, even though it doesn't look like there's any pain. I assure you, there's some pain going on right here.
Meanwhile, we're about to see how the other side lives. Never mind, no we're not. We're going to jump over to Chef Nomi on Bootylicious here as well, playing the Jandis, having this opportunity to continue bouncing that Tidehunter for repeated value. But this is a very early Nomi for Bootylicious. An 8 gold Nomi is right when you want to be hitting it, giving yourself maximum time to be able to scale that up in the future.
So you can see that Bootylicious really learned from RDU in this tournament, right? You can see that he got an early 5, utilizing the triples that he got from the token, right? He just got the token on turn 8, even though he had the potential of getting the token, the triple, as early as turn 5, I believe. So he's really understanding that, oh, look, the winner of these lobbies has been getting an early 5 and spiking with Jandis. Maybe I should do the same. So even though he takes so much damage due to that, he's understanding that a lot of the ways that people are winning these lobbies are just getting that early Nomi, getting that early Genie, and then scaling from there.
Yeah, speaking of the winner of the lobby, I'd be interested to check out what RDU is doing, because up until that round, he was sat in first place and was a tavern level ahead of everyone else. He leveled up to 4 1 turn early, so he has this full turn buying tavern 4 minions. And it looks like he is just putting together the beginnings of a Murloc comp, but has a nice little Deflecto bot and egg combination with the reset there as well. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I like this a lot. He took the 3-3 instead of the 2-2 because he knows he's not going to keep the 2-2 for long. He probably was considering, is the 2-2 better? But he knows he just wants to get the extra attack on the egg and the Deflecto bot. just so that he can transition safely into a full Murloc composition. You can see a lot of players are picking up Murlocs in the beginning of the matches just because a lot of people are using Elementals as their way to carry these games. So people are finding countermeasures even in the early game to kind of counteract that.
Yeah, so now RDU will be facing off against Boodalicious, who we just left, starting to scale up his Nomi. So depending on how many elementals he was able to pick up on that first turn of scaling, we'll see whether or not he can compete with this board, because outside of some big elementals coming out of the shop straight away, he was a lot weaker than what we saw here from RDU.
Okay,
picked up a Cyclone. Okay.
Yeah, he did have the Cyclone. He could have taken the 1/3 Elemental if he wanted to buff the Nomi even more, but ends up taking the Major Dormo instead, just hoping that the extra stats on the Cyclone will be enough to carry him in the early game, because all he needs to do is survive a little bit longer and he should be good to go after that.
Big 50-50, and RDU wins it there as well, being able to clean up. But that's a 50-51 in the end by Boodalicious as well, to save a little bit of damage, just leaving the token on the board, which means there is an outside chance that Boodalicious can lose one more fight, but it's starting to get to the point of the game where if you lose a fight, you are probably taking more than 11 damage.
Wow, we see a demon, a Wrathweaver demon composition, and he does hit the what's that called?
Floating Watcher.
Floating Watcher. That's the name of the card that I was talking about as well. So he's got a pretty solid turn here. He can take the Annoyer module and put it on the 10-8 as well. So he can really get a massive board this turn if he decides he wants to do it.
Yeah, you also see this was locked at the end of last turn, so all of these minions have picked up that buffed buff, if you want to look at it that way. Deceptively huge minions coming into play here from Alexis Diesel, and I'm wondering what he's taking so long to do here. It
yeah,
seems like
right. That's what I was considering, right? Is he fighting his teammate would be the immediate thing that I was looking for, but other than that, he really has a clean play. He could buy 4 minions, even the Zerus, and sell 2, and be really, really good. He's gonna level.
Yeah,
okay.
And you are exactly correct. He is playing his teammate this round.
Okay.
Oliek on the Yogg is his teammate, so he is going to try and
the level as well.
Just scale back his power a little bit, because I
that
expect
makes so much sense.
He is much stronger than most other people in this lobby right now.
I think he also is playing Sindragosa with almost the perfect Sindragosa role. Everything is useful for him here, so he's really gonna get a huge advantage here, and next turn, you'll really see this guy get extremely strong. Surprising to see from a demon composition. You don't see these too often, too much. Everyone's favoring elementals instead, but he looks very, very strong at this stage of the game.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? You can see how much stronger he is than everyone else. Like, even improving his board by a factor of absolutely 0 that turn and actually reducing his number of minions, he still won the fight by some distance. But Habu Gabu, step 1, is out in 8th place. That is what the rest of the lobby needs to see, although RDU is still looking in a decent position to be able to pick up enough points to be able to secure this win.
Yeah, what you need to see is RDU going down, and then Alexis Diesel and Olias taking up the mantle to go for the victor here. So that's really the only plan of action they have to actually take the victory. But we'll see if they can make it work.
I don't think they're in bad shape to do that, because Alexis Diesel is playing against RDU right now, and RDU only has 15 health currently. And that is a huge board that is being made this turn, with the potential to deal a ton of damage to RDU. RDU does have Murlocs, though, so he might have picked up additional poisonous minions since the last time we saw him, but he is probably going to need them. Nope.
Yeah, this is a real close game plan. If they can knock RDU out in 7th place as well, what a massive opportunity Alexis Diesel and Olias would have to actually snipe the top spots. Can you imagine them getting second after we've been talking about them the whole tournament, and they just get outplayed at the end? That would be so amazing to watch.
Collins, this is so huge. This is the biggest individual fight that we have seen all weekend, and look how big these minions are from the Sindragosa. There is multiple Divine Shields that can potentially land on that poisonous minion, but RDU needs them all to go there. Olvar is probably the second best pick at this point. This is actually looking fairly close the way it's breaking down. He gets the good attack on the poison.
Oh man, the suspense. I'm wondering if he has enough. Oh, that's really
Ooh,
good
that's
for
huge.
RDU
Yep.
and bad for everyone else in the game. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to take RDU out in one shot here. So the opportunity had to maybe get that that victor out of nowhere is closed out. And look at all the defeats. He really needed RDU to go down here. I think this almost solidifies their victory here. You can see RDU smiling. He understands that that was the most important battle of this round, and really he's kind of solidified the victory for his team now.
Yeah, I think you are absolutely right, Collins, because 5th place now for RDU with everyone else that died that turn means that he picks up 3 points, which means I believe at best the black team can tie with RDU and Habu Gabu, and if they tie, they lose on tiebreakers because the tiebreaker is number of wins, and we both know that RDU has that absolutely covered. So I think just that one fight victory now for RDU will have secured the win for the red team.
Yeah, massive outcome for him and massive plays from their team, taking out winning every round, being consistent, going for the safe play, you know, and then getting that 5th spot if he loses next round. So nice to see.
Huge pirate board from XQN here. We saw him honestly looking pretty resigned to taking the Captain Hogger when they when the 5-drop Discover whiffed, but he's made the best of it. You know, he's made lemonade out of the lemons, and he's actually pushed a lot of stats here with those salty looses.
Yeah, they gave him a Hogger, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna use this. This will be my direction.
Yo,
I wouldn't have done it.
Golden Soul Juggler, double Imprisoner, double Void Lord from Silvername on the Curator here. Very unconventional Curator build, just leveraging essentially only the Demon tag on that Amalgam. Looks like he should have more than enough shots to take out all of these pirates.
Yeah, very impressive to see. Looks like we're having a lot of unconventional compositions in the end game. Maybe people are realizing that it's too greedy to just try to force that elemental comp when other people are just killing you extremely quickly and just making the best of the hits that they started with.
Oh, the Eliza is dodging so hard though. All 3 pirates alive on 1 health. Are you kidding me? Okay. Didn't end up mattering, but the way those shots went, I do think had the potential to save XQN a lot of damage there, but not save him enough. He is going to go down here to Silvername on the Curator with that Demons build, and we are down to our final top 4 of the day, Collins.
Yeah, it's looking real close. Everyone's has a composition that we haven't really been seeing in the previous lobbies, right? There doesn't seem to be any elementals in this game. Maybe Genie got removed for the last match. They're like, try something else. You know, Bob is screaming to the players here, and they're having to make it work with the other minion types in the game.
So what this means now for the state of the leaderboards is forget about RDU pretty much. Like, he might win this lobby, but it actually doesn't matter at this point. The red team, RDU and Habu Gabu, will finish first at this point, I believe. However, the 3 other remaining players, Silvername and Dummit, who are a team, are currently in 3rd place. Before this lobby, 8 points behind Alexis Diesel and Oliek. And so Alexis Diesel is now the solo player for his team. So that actually makes things very tight, because the team in 3rd currently have 2 players alive, whereas the team in 2nd only have that 1 representative. So the battle for 2nd could actually come all the way down to the wire here.
Yeah, it's looking like Silvername and Dummit have to Hulk out here to take out Alexis Diesel as early as possible. And then the advantages that they could make might be enough to allow them to win the lobby or win the 2nd place spot.
This is now RDU again on the Nozdormu facing off against Dummit. Dummit does have that giant buffed up Battlemaster, but there is that 1 Divine Shield poisonous minion to be worried about. But that is a great proc on the Divine Shield coming out from that Amalgadon, and there goes the poisonous minion, which means from here that Battlemaster is going to be able to carry, and I think this is the end of RDU's tournament. But what an insane performance it has been, Collins.
Yeah, very impressive to see him and his team doing extremely well, just showcasing how to play this patch. Really, I think, is what he showcased for all of us to see. You know, if you really want to win, just get some genies and go for elementals. Seems to work.
Wait, did his Matt Bagel just feed him a salty loser? Like, is it just teamwork coming in there between the pirates?
Yeah, seems like it. It seems to work out for him. Let's see how Silvername has done against Alexis Diesel. Alexis Diesel still being alive and winning the round. Barely. He does have that Wrathweaver floating watcher composition, and it seems to be doing extremely well, keeping him alive even against his full juggler composition.
I think that is extremely bad news for Silvername and Dummit, though. The fact that RDU died and Alexis Diesel did not, I think that means they're in a lot of trouble here as to what the overall standings are going to end up as.
Yeah.
Silvername, in the meantime, really hasn't improved his board since the last time we saw him. This is just kind of where he's at this point.
Another issue is that they're fighting each other, so they have a chance of accidentally killing themselves. So that's also a really bad outcome. Hopefully they can keep themselves alive and then take out Alexis Diesel in the following round. I don't know if that's going to be enough, because even if you get first and second, that's 13, and then third will be 5 points, I believe. So that's an 8-point difference, isn't it?
Yeah, so if Alexis Diesel picks up 5 minimum, that means that Black is at 60 total, which I don't think is attainable for Silvername and Dummit at this point. But this is all largely speculation at this point.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on what Silvername has done here, which is thrown his juggler out first in an attempt to tie this fight against his partner here in Dummit.
Yeah, we'll see how good it is. He might actually lose horribly, if I'm being honest, because he does this. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. He look at Silvername. He realizes that, oh, I may have just threw. I'm actually so weak. So yeah, kind of unfortunate positioning for him there. Didn't understand how weak he was in comparison to his teammates, but might just get completely at one shot here. Unfortunate to see, but that looks to be the case here.
What a play from Silvername. We've praised so many people for their outstanding communication to be able to get the job done and tie these clutch scenarios. That was about the worst that we've seen so far, because Silvername has just resigned himself to so much damage there, and he is just going to get one shot out of the game for 29 damage, which means I'm fairly confident now that is over, and Alexis Diesel is going to lock down second place for himself and his team.
Yeah, you can see Dummit laughing. They were probably talking like, oh, I'm a little strong. I have a juggler composition. Maybe I'll put my juggler in front. And it's like, yeah, go do that. Sure, be safe. I just need to not kill you. Ha, ha, ha. And then Dummit's like, oh, wait. Heck away. Oh, man. Just gets absolutely blown out by Dummit's composition here. So we'll see if he can take on Alexis Diesel's Wrathweaver floating composition as well.
Yeah, and it's a really nice way to end the tournament as well, after we've seen so many giant elemental comps, so many Murloc comps being successful. Both of these builds from both players, honestly, kind of scuffed here, right? Like, not really the thing that you would expect to be super dominant, but still able to put things together in this final lobby. He does have
2 Amalgadons, and I do think no matter what composition you're running, that is OP composition. So I honestly think it's fine.
In my defense, Collins, I did start that sentence before he had a second Amalgadon on his board.
That is true. That is definitely true.
Yeah, this is a huge push now for Dummit, actually turning this into a pretty serious comp. Yeah, I don't want to be goldening those double amalgams, both with Divine Shield and Poison.
It could have even been worse, because he might have taken. If he took it, he might have not had the time to play it, and then he'd just be without the Amalgadons at all, and would completely lose.
That is very true indeed. And now this 1/1 Poison marches straight into a Divine Shield for 0 value. That is the worst case scenario as well. The poisonous minions completely
I actually think Alexis Diesel has it though. I do think those demons are way too big for the Battle Master here. 60 attack, 50 attack. That thing only has 15, so it's not going to be good enough to salvage this composition. It looks like Alexis Diesel will guarantee the second place spot, I think, with this performance as well. So good on that team as well to do so well and get that victory for their team.
Yeah, and switching to winners POV, this takes basically all the guesswork and all the scuff mathematics that we were trying to put together. to rest because Alexis Diesel has just done what he needed to do and won the lobby, which I'm pretty sure now is going to secure second place for himself and Oliek. So a great performance from the two of those, but a really, really good final lobby as well. You know, we talked about would RDU and Habu Gabu play it safe? Clearly they didn't, because one of them went out in 8th place, although some of the free minions that came from the reform were definitely suboptimal, and I know firsthand that can be a really miserable feeling when you don't get those nice pulls off the free minion. But RDU doing what he's done all tournament and just putting in a good performance to secure the win for his team. What a great performance from their team.
Yeah, it's really nice to see. We can take a look at the final standings here. All the yes works have been done by our team here, and you can see that it was a close battle between first and second, actually, right? Even though RDU and Habu Gabu have been leading the charge for most of the tournament, right? The second team, Olias and Alexis Diesel, was just 5 points behind. That's one lobby behind them, so they actually did extremely well. Very, very consistent for Olias and Diesel to even though they weren't getting as many firsts as RDU and Habu Gabu did, they were getting lots of seconds, lots of thirds to make sure that they're competitive all throughout.
Yeah, really, really consistent performance from Alexis Diesel and Oliek. But commiserations as well to Bootylicious and XQN. But remember, of course, they didn't finish last here. Like, they qualified through to Sunday in the first place, so they're already in the top half of the tournament. And XQN in particular had to grind through the shark-infested waters of the Battlegrounds ladder to even qualify for this tournament. So they've absolutely proved that they are big players as well, with XQN picking up a first place and a second place on top of that as well. So Collins, I think it's been an incredible day. I want to give one final congratulations to the red team and to RDU in particular, who has put in an absolutely astonishing performance. But do you have any final thoughts before we wrap it up for the day?
I want to say that you should go out and congratulate all the players today. They all performed well. They all tried their hardest, even though some didn't do as well as some of the others, right? They're all great players. You can see everyone was trying their best. Everyone was struggling. Everyone was trying to adapt to this meta that we had in the tournament, and they all did their best. Some days are just not your days. You know, there are some days where I play a couple Battlegrounds games, I get 8th or some 7th afterwards, and I'm just like, this isn't going to be my day for Battlegrounds. And yeah, sometimes it happens during tournaments, but it doesn't mean that the next day won't be any better. And they all tried their best, despite what Bob was doing.